Meeting call to order. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd. It is now 6:05 PM. Town Council having a special town council meeting jointly with the school committee.
Roll call, Councilman Dennison,
Here.
Councilman Lichardi is absent, Councilman Messier.
Here.
Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
Council President Goslin.
Here.
For the school committee, Louis Cologne,
Here.
Ray Kutu, absent, Joseph DiMartino,
Here.
Angela Coburn,
Yeah.
and Dennis Peacock is absent. All right, quorum is declared.
Good evening. How do you want to start?
I'll go first.
Well, good evening, everybody. Nice to see you. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. As you know, this is a meeting that we're required to hold by law to talk about our revenues and expenses for next year. But you also know that we're just developing our budget for next year now. So we don't even have our final draft done, which per our timeline won't be till right about Christmas. And then we use January to refine it and then present it to the town manager the first week of February.
Yes.
So Lisa will get up in a second, but it's really a best guesstimate of what our state aid will be based on prior years. She'll talk a little bit about some of the curriculum mandates that we do know about and we do have estimates for that will be in our budget. But, you know, we're here tonight as required. And just to be clear that it's not our final budget, not even the draft of our budget yet. So, with that, Lisa.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Lisa.
So the FY 27 budget is currently a work in progress, and at this time, I would like to share some key points we are taking into consideration regarding the areas that will impact our budget. Just a brief overview, the FY 27 budget is currently in its preliminary stage. Over the past 5 years, the budget has increased by an average of 4% annually, which is in line with the Consumer Price Index, which over the last 12 months has risen 3%. Estimated expenses that will impact our FY 27 budget. Teacher contract negotiations for the period September 2026 through August 30th, 2029. FY 27 will be the first year of the new contract. The pay on street expenses beginning September of 2026. We are awaiting estimates from the town regarding building usage expenses that we will take on, such as electric, gas, water, and sewer. RIDE mandated high quality curriculum implementation. For science, we're doing a full implementation beginning FY 27. K through 8 curriculum will cost $125,000. K through 8 science equipment and materials, approximately $165,000. But this will be reduced after year 1 as initial upfront costs includes permanent equipment. The 9 to 12 science curriculum and materials will also be another $50,000. So for just FY 27 science curriculum, the full implementation will be a total of $340,000. English full implementation was last year. This year, FY 27 for K through 5 consumables will be $86,000. Grades 6 to 12 consumables, $110,000 for a total English curriculum is $196,000. Another expense we're going to have to incur, teachers' Chromebooks were purchased with the ESSER federal funds, and they are currently in their fourth year of usage. So we will need to replace staff Chromebooks, and which will cost approximately $185,000. Another area that we continue to see a rise in outplaced students and the heightened costs associated with these placements. Our budget request at this time, our request from the town is pending. We're still in preliminary. We have state aid projection over the past 5 years. The average annual increase in state aid has been approximately $2.6 million. However, we are being cautiously optimistic that that trend will continue. So our ongoing budget refinement, I want to reiterate that it is very preliminary. Our team is committed to actively working to mitigate the impact on the town, and we will continue refining our approach as we progress. Your collaboration and understanding during these early stages of our budget planning for FY 27 are immensely appreciated. We look forward to working together to ensure a sustainable and efficient budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Any questions?
Thank you. I was gonna say, any questions for Lisa or Karen?
You're hoping not, right?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. I just wanted to add one little piece about Payon Street. So with the building project, we know that we're hoping to have Payon Street open next September for next school year. We don't see a big increase with staffing because like we talked about, the staff that's staffs at ALP will simply the whole as a program move over to Payon Street. So we don't really see any big staffing impacts. We'll need a custodian, maybe one clerical person, but we don't see a big a jump there in the budget. You know, our goal, like I've talked about many times, is to minimize that as much as possible. Our budget overall for 27, because we know the year after, that's when Quinn should be open as a 4th elementary school. So we know that may look a little different. So, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Karen, just one quick, so like,
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna do Payon now and Quinn during next school year, so
Mhm.
then do you think you'll be able to finish most of the stuff during the summer at the renovations at the schools that are currently operational?
Yeah, so that's what we're going to jump into in terms of planning right now. And it all can't happen in the summer. So I actually just talked to Kristen Hinson about it today. When the science wing is being renovated, some of it will have to happen while school's in session. So we'll have to carefully plan out, you know, might need to use some of the spaces in the middle school for some of the lab things. So we'll just have to gonna be really like careful to schedule and move kids around. And when I first came to West Warwick, we had some high school classrooms on the 3rd floor at Deering because we needed them. I think they were English and social studies. So it's been done before. So that's going to be the tricky year where we're going to need some swing spaces. But I think if we're, thoughtful enough about it and plan well, that it should be fine. Okay, you're welcome.
Kristen, while she's on Zoom.
All right, Kristen?
Hi, can you hear me? Am I loud?
Yes.
Too loud?
Yes.
Loud and clear. I want to echo what Lisa and Karen said about everything being very preliminary. This is a statutory state of Rhode Island general law requirement that we have this meeting. I did submit the revenues, and of course mine are very preliminary. I plugged in what they're getting for state aid right now for the school, and then we don't even have the state aid for fiscal year 27 released yet. So my revenues are very preliminary as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is just to check the box because the law says we have to do it, so.
Exactly.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we should adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Ayes have it.
thank you.
Thank you.
You better get out now. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meeting calls to order. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd. Town council meeting, town council chambers, 1170 Main Street is now 6:15 PM. With a heavy heart, as everybody can see in the front row there, on Thanksgiving morning, our town sergeant had passed away. He's now reunited with his lovely wife, who passed a little over a year ago. Bert, if you got to know him over the years, he was definitely a kind soul. Everything the chairs you're sitting on, He donated to the town of West Warwick of almost $30,000. He's always been very supportive of the community. He served on many boards and he's always been very supportive of many councils that have sat here. He's always come to defense. He's always sat there and done a good job with the community. So with that being said, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Bert and his family. Thank you. Mark, you listen to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for.
No,
Thank
I
you.
believe the
Thank
way
you
we
very
yes.
much.
Thank you.
And I know we haven't really talked about it as a council, but I know Mark and I had conversations. That chair will be in this chamber. On Bert's behalf.
In perpetuity, yes. Yep.
Roll call. Councilman Dennison.
Here.
Councilman Lichardi is absent. Councilman Messier. Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
Council President Scott.
Here,
Quorum is declared. Consent agenda, approval of the minutes on November 18th, 2025 town council meeting.
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
move and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Business licenses.
Move business licenses G 1 through 5.
Second.
Move and second, any discussion? Any public discussion on the business licenses? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Those have been approved. You Recycle Again, Sacred Heart Church, Vlad's Auto Center, and trade license from Sanator on December 14th.
New business, October 2025 monthly finance report.
Kristen?
Kristen?
If you're here, you're on mute. She is dealing with the situation at home, so she might be.
We want to move that one.
Let's move to number 2 and she comes in.
Consideration or request from the police department for the purchase of ballistic vests in the amount of $26,163.
Move the request.
Second.
Chief?
Good evening, Council. I'm respectfully requesting authorization to proceed with the purchase of a total of 18 ballistic vests, in part to replace vests which will reach the end of their life over the next year. The number of vests being replaced this year is higher than years past, as there has been a change in the process in which we get reimbursed for half the cost of the vest through federal grant funding. The change will now cover 2 full years of replacements instead of just the previous year to year. I have attached the quote from Atlantic Tactical, which holds the Massachusetts State bid pricing contract for a total of $26,163. I recommend funding sources of the ballistic vest budget line item, as well as the police detail expense fund for the total amount of $26,163. Again, we fully expect to be reimbursed at the rate of 50% in total through federal ballistic grant funding once we order and take possession of the vests.
Any questions for the chief? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recusing myself for number 3.
Yes.
Kristen, ready to go.
Oh, Kristen's ready now? Okay, back to 1.
I was ready. I just couldn't unmute. Can you hear me?
That's unusual for you, Kristen.
I know,
Yes.
right? Okay. Here are the October 2025 monthly finance reports. Current year tax collections total $36,859,509.54, which is 53.38% of the budget for current year taxes. To date, 2 quarters have been collected. The next quarter is due January 15th. Prior year tax collections total $195,324.70. Also, this line has been adjusted by $318,093 for the 60-day rule that was accrued back to fiscal year 25. The adjustment represents collections from July and August. Overall, the revenues are at 43.6%, which is 10.27% higher than anticipated 4 months into the fiscal year. This is mainly attributed to strong tax collections, higher than expected build-in and town clerk revenues, and the receipt of the distressed communities and tangible state aid payments in full for the year. Expenditures are trending under budget at 29.85%. This is 3.48% lower than what is expected 4 months into the fiscal year. Nearly all the operating departments are running on target or slightly below budget. Also, longevity will be in the next report, so it'll kind of make everyone a little bit more even keel. The Civic Center has current operating expenditures of $304,701.43 and operating revenues of $204,974.58. The majority of summer camp revenue is collected prior to camp starting on 6/16, but the bulk of the expenditures for summer camp appear after 7/1, so it kind of drives the disparity till the end of the fiscal year. The bank balance as of November 21st, 2025 is $8,333,265.21. We earned an additional $9,052.30 in interest on the $3 million invested in the interest-bearing sweep account with Citizens Bank for the month of October, bringing our balance to $3,363,234.37.
That's your report.
That is my report.
Any questions for Kristen? Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
For the record, I'm going to recuse myself for item 3.
Consideration of tax cancellations in the amount of $30,653.18 as requested by the tax assessor.
I'll take a motion.
Second?
Nope,
Oh,
motion.
well, I'm gonna move the, item.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion in a second. I do have one question. Any other comment? Yes. The big number on the report is for Quaker West. And can you tell me what that is? Because it's a tax amount of 29,237.
That Quaker West is Cabot House on Route 2. That's the main, and there's a Christian bookstore
Okay,
in there also. They had them, the value was almost 4 million after the reval. They had appealed a couple of revals ago, and it had gone into lawsuit, and there were arrangements where it had brought the number down. They supplied an appraisal, and the Board of Review actually made the decision to lower it from 4 down to 3 million.
actually, that would be a little more than that, wouldn't it? I mean, 4 million, maybe down to closer to 2 million.
It's 2.8 is the value now.
Okay,
But it's not, it needs work. It's been sitting there a while. I don't know if you've ever
Okay.
actually driven in there. The
I
basement
know
that
what
they
you
used to use is flooded.
so is it just the L or is it the liquor store as well?
The liquor store is separate.
It's separate, so it's
Yes.
it's the,
Mary Beth, we could move one item and do them separately, because I for one of the tenants that's in that building.
okay,
So I just wanna recuse myself from, I don't know if are you gonna split it up? I know David had to recuse himself from the other one.
You guys just
Yeah, they do set, yeah.
yeah, okay.
So what if you
So-
want to go on the
so-
other one first, since David already recused himself?
Okay, so we will actually, if we could. So the motion will now be to move the first item on the abatement list. So I need a motion to do that.
Second, I'm sorry, I'm gonna make a motion to move.
Yeah,
I'll second it.
So there's a motion in a second. Any questions about that? All in favor?
Aye.
And David is recusing, and then we'll, you can take, you can do it. Yeah.
All right, so you had discussion on number 2.
So there is some work still gonna be done on that, is that correct?
It needs work. I don't know if they're going to do it. The gentleman that owns it has owned it for quite a while. They're starting to get a little elderly. I don't think they want to throw money into it themselves. They seem to be fine making whatever money they have out of it. They probably don't owe a bank anything on it. So
Okay. So we.
It's
put
it's a
more-
tire, it's a tire plaza.
So we, yes, I wouldn't disagree with you. So we, are
Based on the
based on the
appraisal
appraisal that they brought in.
Sweeney, I think
Okay.
that, no, it was actually, our friend from
Peter
Cranston.
Scotty, no?
Peter Scotty, I
Yeah,
think, did the
okay.
appraisal, so.
I want a low appraisal, you know. where to
You
go.
know, and I didn't want to make the decision by myself.
Okay,
I let the board look at it.
Okay.
They're knowledgeable in the real estate field
Okay.
and stuff, so
thank you.
it saves us going to court. And last time,
And for you who don't know, who's on the board, it's Christina Messier and, Janice Pacino. Janice was the tax assessor here for a few years, then
Yes.
she went to East Greenwich. And Christina, she does a lot.
Christina works for a reval
A
company.
reval company, so
An associate.
they understand the reevaluation process.
We're still looking for one more. Well, you appraisers and real estate agents out there,
All right,
looks good on your resume.
here's your commercial right there.
Any other questions for Sal? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Right. Resolution authorizing bid award to JR Construction Solutions LLC for the construction of a new roof parapet walls. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. At Town Hall, the Police Department and Fire Department in the amount of $315,000.
Move the resolution.
Second. Moved second. If I'm correct, the parapet walls are the side skirts
So I did say
up on
right
top,
then.
yep.
I'm like, oh gosh, I'm trying to take a stab at it.
So you don't walk right off the roof when you're up there.
Right.
Got it.
You have to hit your shins first, then go over. Any questions on that? And Bob, you'll be overseeing this project?
Absolutely.
Hearing nothing, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution authorizing the purchase of hardware and software to improve network infrastructure in the amount of $218,228.99.
Move the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Jeff, you want to give Mark?
So while he comes up, he can give you more specifics if you have questions, but if you recall during our budget process, we were proposing about a little more than $500,000 worth of IT improvements that we applied for grants. So we received a significant amount of grants. This is to address the issues that we had set aside some capital funds for what we didn't get grants for.
Any questions, I can answer them.
What are you doing?
So we're replacing the 3 existing host servers that run all of our virtual machines. Replacing all of our Microsoft server licenses. Every one of those Microsoft server licenses from now required an entirely different licensing scheme from Microsoft. They're moving towards the Adobe scheme where every single user needs a license now that attaches to a server. So our licensing costs will skyrocket one time for Microsoft. We are moving over to entirely new infrastructure behind the scenes. We're placing servers at the youth center to create a disaster recovery site. All of the data that is here will replicate to the youth center. That is one of the reasons we put in the high-speed internet here and the high-speed internet at the youth center. So everything that is here will also transition to the youth center in almost real time. So if there is an issue with any of the servers, any of the hardware in this location, it'll also be at the disaster recovery site at the youth center. So not with a simple flip of a switch, but with some intervening by myself and another person, we can bring ourselves back online there. That site is fully generated. It does have the necessary infrastructure to support this. So it's a good idea for the town to get into the to get this system set up this way. Did a significant amount of work with Wally. I worked with Wally in the past. They have some of the best technicians behind the scenes that we can work with.
Any questions for Jeff?
So Jeff, I think my only question is, you kind of just touched on it. It's your previous relationship with Wally that.
I worked with them on a video conferencing platform. I spent a lot of time, I probably spent from the time I got here till now, working with a couple different vendors. I am extremely comfortable with Wally putting this in place. I probably had 15 or 20 conference calls between Wally and 2 other vendors to make sure that this is the best fit for the town of West Warwick and not spending too much for the town of West Warwick. I made sure this original quote started at well over $325,000. We worked this down to the best option for the town.
Did we ever look at any other vendors or?
We
just-
did. We worked with Wally, with CDW Direct, with Dell Direct, with HP Direct. And many, I think we had one other vendor in there that I don't recall the name of, that was just outrageous.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, thank you very much.
School building committee update.
So only minor updates since our last meeting. Our next school building committee meeting will be Wednesday, December 10th at 4 p.m. at the high school media center. Just prior to that, they'll be doing another finalization planning meeting with some internal folks on the Payan Street facility to finalize that design as we prepare to go out for RFP. It's expected during that week or the following week to get our finalized approval from RIDE for our stage 2 and some approval of stage 3 items for Payan Street in particular, so we can get that RFP out shortly after New Year's. We did have a meeting last week to discuss gap financing before a bond drawdown, so we don't have to incur those larger costs early on in the year. And we just wanted to verify with the RIDE finance folks that whatever plan we opt for, the specifics, we won't adversely affect the reimbursement that we are going to be granted in mid-December of the 68.3%.
Any questions for Mark? Thank you for the update, Mark.
Upcoming appointments, sewer use board of review, appointment to fill vacancy as as an alternate member for a 3-year term. Sewer use board of review, appointment to fill a vacancy as a regular member for a 3-year term. Tax assessment board of review, appointment to fill a vacancy for a 3-year term. School building committee, architectural, engineering, and construction experience needed. Recreation committee, appointment to fill a vacancy for a 3-year term. And Patuxent River Authority, appointment to fill a vacancy for a 3-year term. Upcoming town council meetings, January 6th, 2026 and January 20th, 2026 are our next 2 meetings. And also not on there is our Santa parade that's coming up on
December 14th.
December 14th.
So there are 2 items, if you don't mind. The school building committee, that's been filled
It is, okay, I didn't know if we still
by
had.
2 people, so we're.
Yeah, I know we
that's-
added, but I didn't know if
That's
you
tied
had.
up. And then I don't
Okay.
know if you need to vote or acknowledge if we want to, we're recommending canceling the December 16th regularly scheduled council meeting. We don't have items.
Public comment. So yes, December 14th, we will be driving a very big route across town. It was a big success last year. And I know the committee decided they were gonna do it again this year, with locations to stop at. So you can actually, in each district or ward, you wanna call it, they have planning to stop, and you can have hot chocolate, cookies, whatever the person who's hosting do, and spend some time with Santa and maybe some pictures or whatever. I think, how many minutes per stop? 10 to 15 minutes? Depending on how many kids are there. We're not gonna deny any kids, so, you know, we're not gonna say, you know, the old Christmas story, give the boot to the head and send them down the slide, right?
The Grinch is gonna be there too, so you never know.
You never know, right? So,
Follow the Facebook page for all the info.
And it's much improved this year versus last year when we go Facebook Live.
And Princess is coming too.
And we
yeah.
have actually the globe with
Princesses.
Elsa.
Yeah.
Is that, am I correct there?
Heard.
Elsa,
And Elsa.
Anna and Elsa.
Yeah.
So it's getting bigger and bigger each year, so
Monday, they got to the route that'll be on.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Public forum.
Public comment. So Sarah, do we have anything pressing for December 16th?
We currently have nothing on the agenda.
Nothing on the agenda. I know I'd like to see everybody's pretty face, but I know it's holidays. It's very busy for everybody. Do you have, anybody have any issues with canceling December 16th meeting?
Technically, it's not even scheduled, is it really?
It's not scheduled yet.
Technically,
Yeah,
right,
Right.
technically it's the sewer commission meeting, your second meeting is the sewer commission meeting.
right.
But you guys have historically met, the second meeting of the council too.
Yes.
Okay. So as of right now, December 16th, unless pressing matters come, we will have, the meeting is canceled. Public comment, just come on up, state your name and address for the record.
How you doing? I'm John Loisel from 77 East Main Street. I have quite a concern of the recent accident that occurred in front of one of my homes. I own two properties next to each other. Within the past 3 years, there's been actually most of them right in front of my house, where there's been a car hit another one, a parked car did a rollover. In the summer, a pedestrian, I believe he was in the walkway, got run over, and he probably flew about 20 yards. Once again, in front of my house. The woman across the street from me was getting in her car a few years back. Somebody sideswiped her car and hit her. My grandson, who lives in my property, overnight it was a hit and run with his truck. And recently a 13-year-old girl was hit in front of my property at the corner of Bridge and East Main Street. It was pretty much a similar night like tonight, kind of a little bit of rain, and in front of my property, it's very dark. There is lighting there, but it's very dark, and actually most of these things have occurred during the day. But it just seems to be an ongoing thing. There's so much speeding going up and down that road. Especially in the summer with the motorcycles, it's an ongoing, they just fly down that road. So there's no, speed limit signs. There's no indication for them on what speed they should go going down there. I didn't know if the council could somehow put that in or do what they do pretty much in Pawtucket and East Main Street, because the school's also there. Some type of speed trap, the camera where you, it's got me a few times, but I've learned, and it's just something I really believe needs to be implicated on that street. It's getting to be, it's just terrible. Now you got the kids going up and down the streets too. What happened last week, I understand that she wasn't in a walkway and she walked in the middle of the street, but like I said, it's very dark on that street. And I don't know if the guy was speeding. I don't know how you can tell if he was speeding. But I know personally that I see it all the time. It's just they're racing up and down that street. So I just hope the council will take that into consideration and do something on that street.
So John, I know, you and I had a brief conversation about this, but I looked into it further. We are working with the state. It is a state road. We are trying to get the signage put up. I know, the major just sent me an email saying he's working with, from the last accident, that he's working with the state to get signage up and all that. We've had some brief discussion, I know Mary Beth and I have anyway, about, cameras in the school zones, specifically, we threw out Wakefield Street, East Main, and Greenbush, especially during the school hours.
Well, I'll be honest with you, in Pawtucket, I don't even think they turn the cameras off.
Oh, they-
I don't think they do. I think it's a 24/7.
Well, Warwick just
yeah.
implemented, they have their school zone ones, but they're Route 2 ones and they're. going through the-
a lot.
Yeah, Warwick just implicated a lot,
So-
yeah.
So I'll be honest, 19 years ago, when I ran for office, the very first few doors I knocked on, I thought it'd be about taxes and this, and it was all about speeding and sidewalks. The whole time I walked, it was like, what are you gonna do about speeding on my road? And I get it, and I think the police department gets it. I know major traffic is probably gonna be keeping a closer eye in that area. So we'll go from there, and I know the chief's in the back taking notes himself now, but we're definitely gonna work with the state on getting those signs up ASAP.
Okay,
Even if we have to put them up, we'll get them,
Okay,
because it is a 25 mph zone.
thank you.
Chief? And if we need to get more lighting, please, maybe, if we need to get more lighting, I know right now it's every other pole. But if it's, because we had the same situation at Main Street down the old, the old mill down there.
Right.
Where 2 children got hit the same night. And there was lack of lighting, so if we.
Well,
need
like
to
I
get
said,
more
the
lighting-
lighting's there, but it's very dull lighting.
But if we get,
It's-
yeah,
it's
and if
not-
we can get maybe another light per pole, maybe
Yeah.
lighten up a little more down there. You know, so I get it, and plus you got the bridge there too, that
Yeah,
doesn't help you guys.
thank you.
We'll get the lighting assessed and
Yeah.
if there's an adjustment that can be
I
made.
think you can, those lights, I think you can adjust the brightness.
Brightness.
Just don't call me and tell me that it's shining in your living room.
Oh, I'll call you.
You know where to find me.
You know you go to sleep when the sun goes down, yeah.
So I did have a conversation with Major Ketchum this morning regarding the lighting as well as increased enforcement on East Main Street. As well as Campbell Street, but that's a different subject. But the East Main Street, just so it's out there, it's not a surprise, we're going to be doing crosswalk stings over the next several weeks. We have dedicated DOT funding, grant funding for those details, so there will be not only just crosswalk stuff, but there'll also be speed enforcement on East Main Street for the next few weeks. I'm not gonna tell you when it's going to be, but it shouldn't be a surprise, but you're gonna see police officers out there. We're well aware of the injuries.
Chicken soup?
We're not, well, not while I'm the chief of police will we ever have a chicken suit on ever again. Turkey, that's all on you, but we're not gonna be doing the chicken fuss in the road.
Somebody would probably purposely pass on that.
Thank you, Chief.
What kind of speed enforcement?
Cars that speed, you pull over.
Oh, just pull over, not like a camera type of thing, right?
No, we would have to have an ordinance to that, we would have to have approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? Hearing none,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Fine.
I guess.
Opposed?
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
And listen,
We're gonna.
We're gonna see everybody in 2026.
Yes.
Have very safe, happy holidays. Cherish and enjoy the time with your families and enjoy the holidays. Thank